Welcome back to 10 About Town. 2025 is a very special year for Dogwood Arts because 70 years ago is when the first Dogwoods Trail opened up here in Sequoia Hills Park.
And it was all thanks to a group of women who proved that big things can bloom if you plant them with love.
Every year, Knoxville seems to get more beautiful. The blooming dogwood and redbuds signal the jonquils and tulips to open. For 70 years, this symphony of beauty has been appreciated in Sequoia Hills, the first dogwood trail in the city.
There was not a lot of civic pride and not a lot of things to have civic pride about.
Betsy Creekmore's mother and her fellow Knoxville Garden Club members wanted to respond publicly to the claim in a book that Knoxville was the ugliest city in America.
They believed that if they could have people come and look at different parts of the city and see how beautiful they were, that people would in fact regain the civic pride that had been lost.
It took a while for the Garden Club to convince city leaders that Knoxville needed the dogwood trails.
George Dempster was the mayor. They got him convinced, but he wanted the chamber involved, so they had to convince the Chamber of Commerce. And then after the chamber wanted the News Sentinel involved, and so they had to convince the News Sentinel, and they finally, 5 years after the original thought had occurred, they finally opened the first Dogwood Trail, and it was a rousing success.
In 1955, Sequoia Hills Trail opened to the public. Creekmore remembers her job.
Now, the city was not convinced, so they put up a counter to be sure that the traffic had increased on the trail. And one of my jobs as a 12-year-old was to get out in my Merida Girl Scout uniform and redirect the traffic coming down Kennesaw Avenue so that it went across the counter.
Over the years, miles of trails were added to cover all corners of the city.
What they thought was that every area of the city is beautiful. Every area is different. The houses are different, the plants are different, the customs are different, but every area has its own beauty.
Creekmore says she's proud of the women who responded to that ugly comment about Knoxville with beauty.
Oh, unbelievably proud. They set an example for all of us coming along. I mean, that women could get things done. They just had to stand back and let others take credit for it.
For her, no town is prettier.
Knoxville's been called many things, the scruffy city and the ugliest city in America, all kinds of things. But the greatest thing to call Knoxville is home.
Yes, here at home in Sequoia Hills on Cherokee Boulevard. Again, the first Dogwood Trail ever opened up here in 1955, and then the first Dogwood Arts Festival was about 6 years after that.